Welcome back to the Line Table. Last week, State District Judge Nancy Franchini ruled that records held by the University of New Mexico Foundation are subject to the Inspection of Public Records Act, also known as IPRA, and must be released to the public. UNN had argued that as a fundraising arm of the university, it was a private nonprofit entity and did not have to comply with that IPRA request. And Carolyn, this ruling was brought about in the wake of a particular lawsuit we're going to get to in a second, but setting aside the specifics of the case for a second, transparency advocates are really loving this. I mean, really loving this. And it could have implications, actually, for other universities and other entities around the state. What's your take on this?
Well, I hope it does. I hope it's a domino effect, because to me it was kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I mean,
it seemed pretty clear from day one, didn't it?
So I was really thrilled just to see the courts back that up.
Yeah.
And hopefully there will be a domino effect all the way down.
Does this change? Is this one of those behavior changing things in your review? Transparency is all well and good, but unless it changes behavior, it doesn't really mean anything. Do you know what I mean? So is this a big enough deal that other universities are going to have to huddle literally on Monday morning and go, you know what, we need to really rethink our deal here, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I do think it's a game changer, yeah.
Okay.
And I think they will have to rethink how they do, and the people that support the nonprofits will have to take pause. Which
Absolutely.
they should, yeah.
You know, Tom, the foundation had this cover for a long time. A long time, and a lot of folks were not happy about this. What's your sense of it now that this ruling has come down? Pretty unambiguous, by the way. It's not very gray here, so.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's. I love the terminology of it. It's a creature of the university.
Yes.
Right.
And to your question, you know, is there going to be a change in behavior? Well, I think people are creatures of habit, and I think it's the right ruling. You know, I think that the University of New Mexico, and as any university does, leverages its foundation to make the deals and to make it provide a nice little tax haven.
Right.
And as a result, there's some transparency that needs to go along with that as well. And you know, they are not an island to themselves, as they've provided in the court documents. They are actually part of the university, and I'm glad that this ruling came out the way that it did.
Dee Dee, is it my sense of it is this is going to be better for the university in the long run. You know, clearly, at some point, we have to know how this money's moving around.
Well, particularly with the scandals in the athletic
right.
department, we need to know exactly, and that's where the challenge originated.
That's right.
We have to know about that, but I think it will have bigger implications than just the foundations. And remember, every state museum,
That's right.
every university has a foundation, but these are state institutions. These are, you know, creatures of the state that then created other creatures called foundations, you know. But the more that state government in general outsources things, this has bigger implications. For example, and I want to disclose that I'm on the FOG board, which filed an amicus brief in this case, and files amicus briefs on other cases where, for example, the prisons outsource their health care and use the idea that this is a private company providing health care to the prisoners as a reason they should not be transparent. So this is a large area here that, as there's more privatization and more outsourcing, there are more excuses not to be transparent,
Right.
even though it's a public service. So I think this ruling will have big implications, and it was a summary judgment too. It wasn't even, you know, it wasn't even going into the details of the case.
That's right.
So I'm very pleased with Judge Franchini, and I hope that the university will not appeal it.
You know, I teased at the beginning of the suit itself, Daniel Libet, someone we all know from nmfishbowl.com, he's done some wonderful work. He filed the suit. He has an attorney that went with this as well, and Tom made the great quote, it's a creature of the university. It all seemed very clear now that we're reading about it after the fact, isn't it? That this foundation, if you're moving money around, in benefit of the university, at some point we have to know how that money's moving around. So talk about reporting and Mr. Libet and how he pulled this one off.
And I've talked to Daniel numerous times about this and many other things, especially his reporting, but I think it's important to focus on what he was trying to get at with this records request. It wasn't, of course it was the bigger picture that they're raising money for the university, but it was literally that he wanted to know how the payments, or if the payments were being made from this private company to UNM,
Right.
and UNM said, we don't have anything to do with it, it's this group.
Right.
And that group said, well, so literally as the public, we have no idea how much money was paid from Wise Pies to the arena whether they were letting things go. And
He's actually looking for that $600,000 check,
right,
Mr. Libet, as well, because we don't know.
Before he looked into it, it was
right.
everything's fine, and but then he started finding that there's probably a lot of sweet, or people that own suites, or not own, but rent suites from the pit, whether they're paying their bills on time, and so that's really important when we're talking about the university and budgetary issues. Are we collecting money that we should be easily collecting?
That's a good point there. Carolyn, this idea that, reporters can still get out there and muck it up with giant institutions like this, and your sense of Mr. Libet and his work here and how he's sort of brought this to the surface. Because when you think about it, he's really stayed with this. This has not been a 3-month project. This has been an ongoing thing that he's just not going to let go of. So.
Yeah, and I think we need those renegade journalists out there to sort of spearhead this. And that's what he is, and kudos to him for doing this, because
Right.
it's a great ruling.
What do you think Garnett Stokes is thinking right now? She's walked into a mess after a mess. It's amazing, isn't it?
Well,
yeah. Maybe a good thing for her. I'm
Maybe a
actually
good
kidding,
thing.
but maybe a good thing.
She
yeah.
could start out being very transparent.
That's
now.
right.
She could start out setting the tone. She
That's right.
she could start out that way.
That's right.
So.
This idea, again, going back to the point Andy made, it was about this one specific thing, but then it kind of broadens into this whole idea of transparency. We've got the Lobo Club out there. We've got lots of different ways we can look at different things and how money works. But there can be no argument. If you've got $600,000 out there allegedly being paid to an institution and no one can really show whether it actually happened or not, you got to have a change at some point in your culture.
Yeah, and by full disclosure, my company has done work with Wise Pies and its parent company SC3 International, and I think that what we've seen develop here is just how a university and a foundation really hang out their major donors out to dry, and so I think there's just a lot of confusion brought upon itself by the foundation and claiming this diplomatic immunity. That's right. That I think will now get cleared up, and I believe that the canceled checks will appear, and that this event will kind of go into the annals of history.
Yeah.
Thank you all for your time on a Friday night. Carolyn, you did great.
Thank
It was
you.
wonderful.
It was
Hope to
fun.
see you back here. Absolutely. Thank you all for joining us. And if you want to share your reactions to this week's topics, get in touch with us here at NewMexicoInFocus.org. Thank you very much.